What's up guys, it's Silent, and on this video it's going to be a little different than most of my videos. As you know, I'm normally behind the camera showing you my travels, showing you whatever's going on in front of me, but this time I'm in front of the camera because after I posted my last video of my new apartment in New York City with the New York City housing lottery and all of that, you guys had a lot of inquiries, a lot of questions. You wanted to know what was the process like, how long did it take? So I said, you know what, instead of replying to the questions on YouTube or TikTok, on all my social media, why not just do a video and put it all out there? So with that said, let's get into it. All right, so first things first, what exactly is the New York City Housing Lottery? If you don't know, the New York City Housing Lottery is a program for New York City residents earning different levels of income who can apply to win an affordable apartment. Now, the reason this is possible is because, well, first of all, I'm going to read this off the site because I want to make sure I'm telling you guys exactly what it is. But it is because New York offers programs that gives developers tax breaks and lower cost loans if they set aside a certain number of units, give or take about 20%, for affordable housing in new buildings or newly renovated properties. Now, although this system is known as the New York City Housing Lottery, you have to apply to each building's lottery. It's not like you just enter the Mega Millions and it covers the whole. No, if you want a specific building, you have to apply to that specific building, on to the next, on to the next, on to the next. You don't just apply once and it goes to all the buildings. Doesn't work like that. Now, after you apply to each lottery for each building, the computer will randomly assign a number to each application. And they say the lower the number, the more likely you'll be contacted to win a potential apartment. Now, that's not always the case, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later on in my story. All right, so next up is, how exactly do you apply to the New York City Housing Lottery? Well, first of all, before you even apply, you need to make sure that you qualify for that specific lottery, for that specific building, because you don't want to go ahead and apply and you don't waste your time because you don't even qualify. Now, the way to find out if you qualify and to apply, you just have to log on to the New York City Housing Connect online portal and go to that specific lottery, and they're going to have a detailed list of information of who exactly qualifies for that specific lottery. Remember, each lottery is different, each building is different, each lottery is going to have different requirements, different levels of income, and that's exactly what they base it on. They base it on your income, your household income, how many members are in your household, your credit, your background, and a whole bunch of crap. But you're going to see the whole list of requirements there, and you're going to know if you qualify for that specific apartment. Also, keep in mind, just because it's affordable housing, it doesn't mean that it doesn't get expensive. I've seen some with rent going up to $4,000 and higher, you know, but again, it goes according to everything that I just told you a few minutes ago, like your income and all of that stuff. So just because you see something with $4,000 rent, don't get discouraged. Just skip it and look for an application that goes according to your income and what you can afford. Now, a question that I got asked a lot was, when did you hear back? When will I hear back? How long does it take? The thing is, that varies. So even though the guidelines say it takes 2 to 10 months for an applicant to get a response after the application window is closed, I would not hold my breath. I'm telling you, don't hold your breath, because I've heard stories of people who've waited for years and years and years to get a response. I've heard people who got it in 2 months and got lucky, you know what I mean? So if you're in dire need of an apartment and you need some place to go right now, I wouldn't depend solely on New York City Housing. Yes, you can still apply, whatever the case may be, but I would also go to realtors, I would check the newspapers, I would check online. That's if you need an apartment right now. Because the chances of you getting one instantly from Housing Lottery are slim to none. You might get lucky, but like I said, if you really, really, really need a place right now, don't depend on that. Look elsewhere, but also still continue to apply for housing in the New York City Housing Lottery. Now, with that being said, make sure you have all your documentation in one place, because if and when they do contact you, they are going to give you just a few days, maybe a week or so, you know what I mean, to submit those documents. And if you don't submit your documents in a timely manner, they will move on to the next applicant. sorry about that. The microphone died, so now I got to do it without the microphone, but that's okay. Doesn't matter. As long as you can hear me, we're good. But I wanted to add in that if they do contact you for a lottery apartment, you're not going to see no pictures. You're not going to see videos. You're not going to get a private viewing before you submit documentation and go through the entire process. You know, this is not a hotel where you see reviews and pictures before you book. No, that's not how it works. You know, it's just a chance that you have to take, and it's a chance that I took. So, I mean, with that being said, let's get into my story and how I ended up here in this apartment. Now, for some of you who've been following my journey for a while now, for years now, some of you already know how I started following celebrities around Manhattan as a teenager. You know, I would go to all the shows like TRL and all the talk shows just to meet my favorite artists, you know, autograph signing back when they used to do album signings in the record stores. I was that guy. I was there meeting all these people. And since I was always in Manhattan, my dream, even though I grew up in the Bronx and I was raised in the Bronx, loved the Bronx and all of that, but always being in Manhattan, my dream was just to live here one day. I've always dreamed of that. Lo and behold, the New York City housing lottery came about. And I found out about it, I guess, in 2018 when I applied. You know, and I applied for like 2 places in the Bronx, but there was one place in Manhattan that I applied for that I was just like, oh my God, I need to get this apartment. Like, this is my dream. And, you know, I'm big on manifestation and visualizing, but I take it to the extreme if I can. You know, for instance, the apartment I'm in, I really wanted to live here. So I got on the train from the Bronx, came over here to the building. I looked at the building. I started visualizing myself living here. I looked around the neighborhood. I walked around the block. I took pictures of the building. I filmed a little video on my phone of the building. You know, that was my way of manifesting myself living there. So that's what I mean by I take things a little bit further to the extreme of manifestation. But the thing about manifestation is you can't keep thinking, I want, I hope, and just going nuts thinking about it every day, all year, or whatever. No, you've got to visualize it, you got to believe it, you got to have faith, and you got to know that it's yours, you already have it, and it's there. And then you got to let it go and let it happen. It happened. I'm excited. This is so crazy. I can't even believe it, but I still can't believe it. It's just mind-blowing. Oh, and long story short, you know how earlier I said allegedly the lower the number, the more likely they'll contact you, which is not always the case. Case in point with me, my log number was 22,208, I believe. Whatever the case, it was 22,000. That is not a low number. So call it whatever you want. Call it divine timing, the aligning of the universe, God, luck, whatever the case may be. They called me at 22,000. So don't think just because you have a low number that they're going to call you instantly. They might. And also don't think because you have a high number, they're not going to call you, because they call me. So after they hit me up, email me saying, am I interested? I'm like, yes, of course I'm interested. Start the process. And what a process it was. When I tell you, this was like what I imagine an FBI interrogation to be like. Like, it was so invasive, intrusive. I just felt like, God damn, dude, you want to draw some blood? You want my shoe size? What else do you want? Like, they wanted everything from 6 months of bank statements, or even up to a year. They asked of me your tax returns. They want to know every transaction on your bank account, like everything. So if your mama sent you $20 to get an Uber or to get a snack or something, they want to know, where did this $20 come from? You know, who, what, where, when, why. They want to know everything. And I guess they have to know your income, but it's a grueling situation. It's stressful. I actually at some point thought I wasn't going to get the apartment because they were asking so much. Like, for 3 months, they were asking me for documentation like every other day. It wasn't like once every 2 weeks they ask for something and come back 2 weeks later for something. No, it was on some constant wanting and what's this and questioning and back and forth. It was just a lot. And you know, with everything that I was going through in my life at that time, it just made it more intense. It was stressful. I was worried, you know, I was starting to feel negative, especially because it was taking so long. But nonetheless, 3 exact months later, after that first email, I got my keys and I was able to come into, I was gonna say my new life. Yeah, my new life, you know, but I was able to come into my new apartment, new life, new beginning, and I'm here. I'm excited, you know. I'm excited to share this journey, and I hope I answered a lot of the questions that you wanted to know. And if you have any more questions, let me know. I want to thank everybody who has purchased something from the gift registry. I truly appreciate it. You know, when you're moving, it's very hard, especially if you're having bad times with work and lack of, and just, you know, life be life. And all the help that I've received, I am so grateful for. So if anyone wants to purchase anything from the gift registry, the link is here in my description on YouTube and in my bio in all my social media. And just aside from the gift registry, you know, I appreciate all the words of encouragement and love and support during this time in my life. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm just excited. So thank you. And I'm going to be showing as I, you know, make my house into a home with all your gifts from the registry and just with things that I put into it. And, you know, it's going to look completely different from the last video where it was completely empty. And I can't wait to share that journey with you guys. So, yeah, I hope I answered everything. I don't know what else to say. So we're going to end it here. And drop a comment, let me know your thoughts. If you've done the New York City housing lottery, what your experience is like, or if you're about to do it, if you have any other questions. And I will talk to you soon. Peace.